Hi everybody, I'm Carolyn from Norcross, Madagascar. Welcome to our first edition after the holidays of our Rough Monday. And we are going to show you one of our really cool things. These are the neatest little things. I absolutely love them. They're petrified wood branches. And we do have a lot of the large petrified wood logs. Like this guy right here is about 30 kilos, so about 60 pounds. And we do have them up to thousands of pounds. Huge, huge, huge logs. And you know, we've got a smaller one over on the other side. But right here in front of me are the branches. And these guys are really quite rare because if you think about this, the millions of years it takes to actually fossilize the petrified wood, the branches are usually compressed and you don't get them. So to get some this size or even the really tiny ones up front is not something that happens all the time. And these guys, I mean, you can see if I pick up like this one here, oops, catch up with me, Greg. This one here is really, I mean, it's just really tiny. And then we have some of the ones you can see, they're just about as wide as my finger. So they're really, really tiny. And these we sell in 1 kilo bags. Just, whoops, as I throw them, I'm always going to be throwing things. But just because they're so small, these ones we sell in the 1 kilo bags because they are only $10 a pound. So at that price, like this right here isn't even a full kilo. So the bags are like $22 for a 1 kilo bag of them. And you get the assorted sizes. So you can see some of them, like this one here, where'd you go? There. This one here is really quite long, like if I put it next to my finger with my nail, but you know, it is about the same size as my finger. And then you're gonna get some of the other ones like I showed you where it's just, you know, an inch thick. So the sizes do vary. And then the next size we have, that's our small branches. And I do love the colors in those. And these ones here are our medium branches. And you will see some of them they actually polish on the back side as well, and the front side is much more polished. The rest of them, and I'm going to say the majority of them, one side is very polished and then the other side is just the natural cut or break. So some of them, like this one here, is not smooth. I'm not sure if you can see the texture on it. So this is one that they actually broke, as is one like that where it's really, really rough on it. So you can see this is the natural edge where it broke. And then the front is polished, and that's got some of the amazing green in. And then other pieces like this one here are obviously sawn, so the back is really quite flat. And then the front is polished. And one thing I really think is cool about these is the two sizes. Like I had pulled this one out just because I thought, you know, it's like a lot of people go for the color. They want to see the real pretty colors and everything on it. And this one has, you know, pretty bland colors, but the patterning on it I thought was so, so cool. And then if you go to the rough side, the back of it is 100% different, absolutely completely different from the front side. So this one, it's kind of like your personal preference which way you want to display it. Or once again, one of the things where you can put it on the turntable so you can see the amazingly beautiful bark area. You can see the rough back, which is so different from the really pretty polished front. And these do come, like we've got some that are just, you know, our petrified wood comes in amazing, amazing colors. And this piece here with the dark, like even the back side, you can see all the dark colors in it, but with the greens and the yellows, these are really rare colors in it. And this is a way, because our petrified wood, we do grade it on the color. So if it's got red, if it's got yellow, or if it's got green in it, we do charge more for it. So a piece like this, if it was large or something like the huge log that we had showed you, would be a lot more expensive. But because it is the branches, it's still only $10 a pound. And I'm gonna say most of these, I brought my handy dandy scale because I was kind of sick of trying to figure out what they weighed. So the piece that I was just holding weighs 9 ounces. So this really amazing, beautiful piece is only going to be like $6. And for something like this, that's really cool. And I love, once again, you're going to see, like this one has a real small front on it, but it's really tall and really narrow. And then we've got other pieces that this piece here is just really substantial. It is a little bit thin, and people sometimes they'll ask why, if you see like the shapes of these, they'll ask for the perfectly round pieces. Well, you have to take into consideration that this right here has been compressed under how many layers of sediment, underwater, under earth, under other trees and logs. So it's been compressed down by the earth and by Mother Nature and whatever is sitting there in the fields where we get it. So it has been compressed. And even when you look at like the larger logs, they're very rarely going to be perfectly round. You are going to get this oval shape just because this is how, you know, it laid and the earth and everything compressed on it. But I think it adds to the character. I love the colors on this, and then when you get to the back, you can see the colors, and then towards this side it turns more of a cream, but you can see the actual bark on the sides. And that, I think, is one of the coolest features. Like this one here, if I can pick it up and not drop it. This one looks like, you know, I mean, you can go and see a branch on any tree living out there right now, and the bark is going to look very similar to this. So I think that's really, really cool. And it's got like the paler colors in the back. It's got some of the darker parts in it, but I think that's really, really cool when you start looking at them and you see the really gorgeous patterning on it. And then you see like this one pretty much translates through. The back of it looks a lot like the front. But like this one piece I had showed you earlier, where the front of it and the back of it were absolutely different. So it is a really, really, really interesting piece. And it's really quite cost effective. I mean, each one of these are not even $10. I think maybe one or two of the larger pieces might weigh over a pound. Like this one is really quite long, and it's got some amazing red in it in the bark. The wood itself is more of a goldenrod. And I like it because this end is tapered, and then when you go to the other end, it is one of those really hard to find round pieces. So it just kind of is the best of all the worlds. And for $10 a pound, really, really economical. If you wanted to spend a little bit more, we do have, whoops, yep, there we go. This piece here is, I believe, 9.9 kilos, so about 22 pounds. And this one is going to be, I believe, $3.22 a pound, so about $65. And I'm going to, once again, mess with everything and stand it up so you can see if I put my hand, and it's got, I love the character on this. If you can see this, it's so, so, so pretty. It's got really great character in the sides of it. It's got, like, you know, you can see where the wood is cracked and everything, which I think gives it the most amazing character. And then that gorgeous, if I could try to put it not on other logs, that gorgeous polished face. And for $65, this is really a really cool statement piece for your desk or anywhere. You know, it's just really, really, really cool. And the price point is pretty reasonable. The other side of the table we have, I'm not gonna be able to move it, but I'm gonna show you from one end of it to the other. So if you can see both my hands on it, this is really long. I'm going to say it's probably maybe 30 inches. It's quite long. It's got some really gorgeous color in it. It does have some of the really rare greens in it and everything. And this one here, I believe is about 60 pounds, maybe a little more. And for a piece this size, because we do price them in weight groups, and obviously we want to make it affordable to people. So this one will only be $2.96 a pound. So this one's going to be somewhere right around $200, I'm going to say, $180 to $200. And this is a really substantial piece. It weighs almost 60, or maybe a little over 60 pounds. So bringing home something like this, you can lay it on its side. The bottom of it is somewhat flat, so you can stand it up. These are, obviously, they're weathered. They were, we found them out in Madagascar in the fields. So this will weather well. Some people choose to shellac them. Some people just choose to let them weather, naturally outside. But they do put them outside, and they're really, really, really cool. We have one customer who bought one of these, maybe about this size, and then a smaller one, and did that as the center of their garden, which was really, really cool. So for like a over 10 kilo piece, those are gonna be about $2.96 a pound. For the smaller one I showed you, that is going to be a 5 to 10 kilo piece. Those are $3.22 a pound, a little bit more. And then for these small branches, which are rare, so we don't have tons and tons of them, these are only $10 a pound, and they're really, really, really cool. If you want these small pieces, we have a lot of teachers who get the smaller pieces because, to just give the kids something this small, or, put them in, we've got customers who've got a few kids who they're trying to teach about rocks and stuff, so they give them a few pieces of petrified wood, which is really cool. If you do have any questions, want to see pictures of some of our huge logs, some of the fountains we have, give us a call, 520-882-8884. Shoot us an email at sales@madagascarminerals.com. We are open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, so we will get you back to you during those hours. We are going to be closed this Friday, which is January 1st, for New Year's Day. But other than that, we will be here Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow for Tumble Tuesday.